Alrighty, Lumberjacks, welcome back. And today we're going to be doing a new tutorial series. This series is basically built for people who are just starting off into the game. They want to learn how to, get the game set up and get logging right away. So I've fired up the game and we're just sitting at the main menu here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to choose career, which you can't see on my screen because it's a little extended, but it's just on this left-hand side. It's the very first option. Once you choose career, you'll be able to pick a save game slot. So you can pick any save game slot that you want. Just make sure it's an empty one. You're not overriding another one if you have one going. So we're going to choose save game slot 1. I'm just going to double click here. You then have the option to select your difficulty. I usually always go start from scratch because I like kind of having that kind of setup. But you guys can choose whatever you want. Double click on that. Now we get to the part where we get to select our map. So we have the in-game maps here, and if you did the install video correct, you should be able to see some of the other ones that we have. So you can go through and look at the different choices for maps. We're going to go on Ender's Forest because this is a nice, easy one to get started. So we're going to choose Ender's and click Continue. Once you get to this screen, you can set up your character, your hat, your clothes, your name, all that stuff to whatever you want. Click Continue, and the game will then switch to the mod screen. So if you guys watched the install video, you should hopefully have all the mods that you need installed and ready to go. So we're just going to click Start. Alright, so once the game is fully loaded here, you can click on the little Start guy down here. This will launch you directly into the game. So once you start the game, you usually start in a middle position, kind of in the mill area on the map. So if you hit Escape, you can actually see the map by this globe up here in the top corner, and this will show you the full layout of the map, and you'll be able to see your location. So we're currently at the sawmill. This green indicator here is the location of which we are. So if I actually turn it this way, you'll be able to see now the arrow's pointing that way. So it actually keeps track of your kind of GPS location on the map as you play. So basically, yeah, you get a full view of the map. You can see everything. So this is just kind of kick you off. The first thing I like to do, so I hit Escape. I like to go to this tractor with the gear-looking icon up at the top here. The first thing I normally suggest to people is to turn on stop and go braking. And what this does is it allows you to go forward and backward without having the machine to come to a direct stop, which is really helpful for when you do skidder work or if you're working with some of the other machines. So I generally always turn that on. Time scale you can set to whatever you want, but I usually put it to real time because I want my days to last as long as possible. If you have it set to faster speeds, it'll make the day cycle go faster, so day turns to night a lot quicker. For people who don't want to have to turn their machines on every time they get in, there's also an automatic start option. I recommend turning it off because there's lots of machines that it works a lot better to have them running while you're working. So I do that, and then I just click Save Game, so it saves all my settings here. All right, perfect. So the next thing you need to do once you start the game is you need to purchase the land, because if you don't purchase the land, you're going to have a difficult time. So let's go here first. So first thing I like to do also is to buy a chainsaw. So I go under this trailer tippy looking deal here. I scroll back until we see chainsaws, and there's a selection of different types and brands. I'm just going to grab one off the front here. Okay, so now that we have a chainsaw, by hitting your scroll wheel, you can actually turn on your chainsaw on and off and get ready for cutting. So now, if you're going to cut a tree, you see how we get this message that says you do not have access to this land. So if you're seeing that message, it means you have not purchased the land yet, which needs to happen. So on all my FDR logging maps, I have made the entire map one purchasable area so that you can just log till your heart's content, and you don't have to purchase individual areas like the in-game settings. So what you want to do is you want to hit Escape, and you want to go over to this globe here at the top. And once you see the full map, you have to hit X on your keyboard. It says lands, so if you hit X, it'll kind of gray out the map. So once it's gray, you just click on the map, and it highlights the entire purchasable area, which is only $4,000. I made it super cheap so everybody can get started. And then you click Buy. Are you sure you want to buy this land? Yes. So now it's green. We know we own the land. And what this does is it allows us now to cut any trees down on this land with the saw. Because if you don't purchase the land, you'll never be able to actually get these trees cut. Perfect. So that's basically the starting point for getting your land set up. If you also watched the install video, I briefly showed you guys how to purchase the machines. So to get to the purchasable menu for the machines, you hit P on your keyboard. P as in Peter on your keyboard. My maps do not have buy points where you can walk up to them, select them, so you need to hit P for purchase on your keyboard. Once this menu pops up, you can go to this tag here, which is for brands. If you have all my mods installed properly, you should be able to see an icon that says FDR Logging down here or wherever it ends up, depending on what mods you have. So double-click on that, and you'll see a selection of all the different machines that you can buy and use for logging. So that's basically just to get you started and how to get to all those menus, get things rolling. This is a great starting point before we go and start reviewing the machines and purchasing them. Perfect. Okay, so we'll catch you guys on the next tutorial. Thanks.